While everyone was looking at pickups like the Ford Ranger, Toyota Hilux, and BYD Shark, another company was quietly working behind the scenes on its new pickup. And now, Isuzu has brought the 2026 D-Max V-Cross into the spotlight, adding a new twist to the story. Its starting price is said to be around $27,000, and that is exactly why this pickup has caught the attention of the global market. Because the D-Max V-Cross has not entered the competition just by offering a lower price. Isuzu has tried to create a package that brings together a powerful engine, strong pickup body, practical features, and off-road capability. In other words, it targets people who do not want a pickup only for city driving, but also for tough roads, long journeys, and work. But the real question is about its price. When other modern pickups are becoming more expensive, how is Isuzu able to offer such a competitive pickup at a starting price of around $27,000? How did Isuzu launch a pickup with such a powerful engine at such a low price? And how could this pickup shake up the market of the Ford Ranger, Toyota Hilux, and BYD Shark? Before we move ahead in the video, subscribe to the channel so you can watch videos like this first. Today, most people know the Isuzu name because of the D-Max pickup or its large commercial vehicles. But this company did not start recently. Its roots go back around 100 years to Japan in 1916. At that time, Tokyo Ishikawajima Shipbuilding and Engineering Company took its first steps into automobiles, and later Tokyo Gas and Electric Industrial Company also became part of this journey. At that time, Japan's automobile industry was not as developed as it is today. So, in 1918, a technical tie-up was made with British automobile company Wolseley. This gave the company a chance to learn vehicle manufacturing technology and gain experience. Then, in 1922, production of the Wolseley A 9-passenger car began in Japan. But over time, the company started moving away from passenger cars and focused more on trucks and diesel vehicles. From around 1924, work on truck manufacturing became faster. Then, in 1937, the company that is considered the predecessor of today's Isuzu Motors was established. Finally, in 1949, the company got a new name, Isuzu Motors Limited. From here, Isuzu chose a slightly different path from other Japanese car companies. While companies like Toyota were moving forward with a large range of passenger cars, Isuzu focused more on trucks, buses, commercial vehicles, and diesel engines. That is why the Isuzu name may not sound as big as Toyota among regular car buyers, but its position in the commercial vehicle industry is quite strong. Today, Isuzu's business is present in more than 150 countries and regions. According to the company, it holds the #1 market share in commercial vehicles in 47 countries. Its global service network is spread across around 3,812 locations, while overseas vehicle sales are said to be around 670,000 vehicles. So, seeing Isuzu as only a pickup company that makes the D-Max would mean underestimating its real strength. Now, when it comes to the pickup business, Thailand has played a major role in Isuzu's story. The company started building its presence in Thailand's commercial vehicle market in 1961. Slowly, Thailand became more than just a market where Isuzu sold vehicles. It became a major base for pickup production and exports. Then, in 2002, the original Isuzu D-Max arrived. This pickup gave Isuzu's light commercial vehicle business a stronger identity in international markets. D-Max and MUX vehicles made in Thailand later started being exported to more than 120 countries. By August 2025, Isuzu's cumulative LCV exports from Thailand had also crossed the 3 million unit mark. Now, look at its sales scale. In the fiscal year ending in March 2025, Isuzu's global LCV sales were around 230,000 units. Around 46,000 units were sold in Thailand, while nearly 184,000 units went to export markets. But one thing to remember here is that these 230,000 units are not only D-Max pickups. This figure includes Isuzu's entire LCV category. After that, in the fiscal year ending in March 2026, global LCV volume increased to around 253,000 units. This means demand for Isuzu's light commercial vehicles is still strong across different international markets. Among all this, Thailand is still one of Isuzu's most important markets. In FY 2025, Isuzu's share of the LCV market there was around 37%. Between January and September 2025, it was around 35%. In simple words, that is a scale equal to roughly 1 out of every 3 vehicles being an Isuzu. Then comes Australia, where demand for pickups is quite high. In 2025, around 26,839 D-Max units were sold. Rivals like the Ford Ranger and Toyota Hilux were ahead of it there, but D-Max sales clearly show that Isuzu is not a small player in this competition. New design and interior of the 2026 D-Max V-Cross. Now let's talk about the design of the 2026 Isuzu D-Max V-Cross. At first glance, this pickup looks quite big and strong. Isuzu has kept its old, tough look, but has also made a few changes to make it look more modern than before. At the front, you get a large new grille, a redesigned bumper, and LED lights. From the side, wide wheel arches and new alloy wheels make its pickup look even clearer. Its body sits quite high above the ground, so there is less fear of hitting the underside while driving on rough roads. The overall design of the V-Cross is made to look good in the city while also handling rough and difficult roads. Talking about size, the Thailand spec V-Cross is around 5.28 meters long, with a ground clearance of about 240 millimeters. So this is not a small pickup. Because it is a double cab, there is seating space in both the front and rear, while a large open bed is available at the back for carrying cargo. Inside, Isuzu has also moved away from the old basic work pickup feel. It gets a large touchscreen, important controls on the steering wheel, and several modern features for everyday use. The seats are also designed to be comfortable for long journeys. The 2026 V-Cross introduced in India also gets a 10.3-inch touchscreen and a 360-degree camera. More expensive variants offer features like a powered driver's seat, cruise control, and better seats. So, Isuzu's goal is clear. The D-Max V-Cross should be a pickup that you can drive to work every day, travel with your family, and also take onto rough roads when needed. The real strength: Isuzu's diesel engine technology. Now let's come to the D-Max V-Cross engine. Diesel engines are nothing new for Isuzu. The company has been making diesel engines for trucks, buses, and commercial vehicles for decades. That is why, while developing the D-Max engine, the focus is not only on producing more horsepower. For a pickup, the engine needs to carry weight easily, handle climbs without too much effort, and provide good power at low speeds on rough roads. That is why Isuzu diesel engines put special focus on torque. In simple words, torque is the pulling power that helps a heavy pickup move forward while carrying weight. When a pickup is empty, almost any good engine can move it, but the real test comes when there is cargo in the back. The road is uphill, or the vehicle is driving on rough terrain. The 2026 D-Max engine options are not the same in every country. In Thailand, it gets the new 2.2-liter DDI Max Force diesel engine. It produces around 150 PS of power and 400 Newton-meters of torque. It also gets the option of an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and a 4WD version is available as well. What makes this engine special is not just its numbers. 400 Newton-meters of torque means the pickup gets good pulling power for everyday driving, as well as situations involving heavy loads or uphill roads. The 8-speed automatic gearbox also helps keep the engine in the right gear depending on the situation. On the highway, this means the engine does not need to rev unnecessarily high at higher speeds. Above this, there is also a 3.0-liter DDI Max Force turbo diesel engine option. It produces around 190 PS and 450 Newton-meters of torque. It can be a better choice for buyers who need to pull more weight, drive regularly on highways, or travel on difficult roads. Depending on the market and variant, it is available with 6-speed manual and automatic gearbox options. This 3.0-liter engine gets a variable geometry turbo. The name may sound a little technical, but its job is simple. The turbo helps send more air into the engine, so it can produce more power when needed. Isuzu's system tries to give the engine power quickly even at low speeds and changes the way it works as the speed increases. This is especially useful when the pickup needs to climb uphill or needs sudden acceleration. Similarly, it gets common rail fuel injection. In simple words, its job is to deliver the right amount of diesel to the engine at the right time, depending on what it needs. This helps the engine work better and also use fuel more efficiently. In India, the story is a little different. Here, the 2026 V-Cross gets a 1.9-liter diesel engine, producing around 163 horsepower and 360 Newton-meters of torque. It comes with 6-speed manual and automatic gearbox options. The V-Cross also gets a 4x4 system. The benefit of 4x4 becomes clear on rough roads. On normal roads, the pickup drives easily, but on mud, sand, or slippery surfaces, if one wheel starts losing grip, the system that sends power to all 4 wheels can help the vehicle get out. How is such a competitive price possible? Now comes the biggest question about the price. How is it possible to sell the Isuzu D-Max V-Cross at such a competitive price when new pickups are becoming more expensive as technology and features continue to increase? First, one thing needs to be clear. $27,000 is not the fixed starting price of the D-Max V-Cross in every country. Its price changes depending on the country, variant, engine, and taxes. So, it is better to understand $27,000 as a price around a particular market, rather than one price for the whole world. Now the question is, how does Isuzu control the price? A big part of the answer can be found in Thailand. Thailand has long been a very important production base for Isuzu's pickups and light commercial vehicles. The company already has factories, suppliers, and a complete vehicle manufacturing system there. This means Isuzu does not need to build an entire manufacturing setup from the beginning for every new D-Max generation. Second, the D-Max is not a completely new experimental pickup. Its first model arrived in 2002, and since then the company has continued improving it. Over all these years, Isuzu has had the chance to understand which parts of a pickup need to be strong, where costs can be saved, and which things customers are willing to pay more for. This directly helps with production costs. Suppose a company is making a pickup for the first time. It would need to find new suppliers, prepare a production line, test the parts, and then begin large-scale production. In Isuzu's case, much of this work is already established. It has long-term suppliers and years of experience building the D-Max. Apart from this, Isuzu light commercial vehicles made in Thailand are exported to many countries around the world. The same basic D-Max can be changed according to the needs of different markets. Some markets get a different engine, some get different equipment, and others get more safety or comfort features. But the basic foundation of the vehicle remains largely common. This means there is no need to build a completely new pickup for every country. Another reason is Isuzu's practical approach. The company does not try to turn the D-Max into a luxury vehicle by adding every new technology just because it is available in the market. This does not mean the D-Max lacks modern features. It gets things like a touchscreen, cameras, safety features, and a comfortable cabin. But its main focus still remains on the actual job of a pickup. In other words, the engine should be reliable, the vehicle should handle weight, drive on rough roads, and be used for a long time. Along with this, different variants also help control the price. A buyer who needs a pickup for basic work does not have to pay for every premium feature. At the same time, someone who wants a better interior, automatic gearbox, or more features can choose a higher variant. Isuzu also benefits from its old and tested mechanical parts. Instead of completely redesigning the vehicle every time, The company keeps improving proven engines and other components over time. This can help manage both development risk and cost. But there is an interesting point here. Isuzu Thailand's strategy is not just about selling more pickups by giving heavy discounts. The company itself has talked about maintaining brand value and resale value and has focused on avoiding aggressive discounting. This means Isuzu's goal is not simply to make the D-Max the cheapest pickup in the market. The real goal is to keep the price at a level where customers get a strong diesel engine, practical cabin, working capability, and the necessary hardware for off-road needs for their money. So, the D-Max pricing story is not limited to just a big engine at a low price. Behind it are Thailand's large manufacturing base, long-time suppliers, years of production experience, a global export network, and a strategy of preparing the same pickup for different markets. D-Max versus Ford, Ranger versus Toyota Hilux versus BYD Shark. Now let's come to the real competition. The Isuzu D-Max V-Cross is not the only pickup that promises a strong engine, off-road capability, and everyday usability. It faces three big names: Ford Ranger, Toyota Hilux, and BYD Shark. But the interesting thing is that all four pickups are trying to do the same job in slightly different ways. First, look at the Ford Ranger. Ranger's biggest strength is that Ford has not limited it to being a traditional work pickup. Along with powerful engine options, it offers modern technology, a good interior, and several advanced features. In higher variants, the cabin becomes quite premium. There is also good focus on large screens, driving assistance, and comfort. So the Ranger may appeal to a buyer who wants the strength of a pickup along with modern SUV-like features. But then comes the question of price. Ranger prices vary a lot depending on the country and variant, and higher variants can become quite expensive. In that case, the buyer has to decide whether they want to spend more money on those extra features and technology, or whether their needs can be met by a comparatively simple and practical pickup. Next comes the Toyota Hilux. The Hilux competes with the D-Max a little differently because both have built their reputation around similar things: strength, reliability, and the ability to work for a long time. The Hilux has been sold in different markets around the world for decades. Toyota's large dealer and service network also works in its favor. Hilux resale value is also considered strong in many markets. That is why, for buyers who want to use their pickup for many years, the Hilux is a familiar option. This is where the competition between the D-Max and Hilux becomes interesting. Isuzu also comes with long experience in commercial vehicles and diesel engines. The D-Max also focuses more on practical use than show. So the competition here is not just about which one has more horsepower. It is also about reliability, maintenance, purchase price, and the value you get after many years. But the third competitor changes this whole story: BYD Shark. While the Ranger, Hilux, and D-Max come from traditional pickup thinking, the BYD Shark takes a different path. It is a plug-in hybrid pickup. This means it uses a petrol engine along with electric motors and a battery. The advantage is that the Shark can deliver strong combined performance and can also drive some distance on electric power. Along with this, BYD has given it modern screens, connected features, and a more technology-focused cabin. So, the Shark can attract buyers who want a pickup but also want to use new electric and hybrid technology. But a hybrid system also brings some different questions. If a buyer lives in a remote area, regularly travels very long distances, or does not have easy access to charging, a traditional diesel pickup may still feel like a more straightforward option. At the same time, for a buyer living around the city, the benefits of a plug-in hybrid can be different. And this is where the D-Max tries to create its own place. Its formula is quite simple: diesel engine, good torque, 4WD, strong body, and practical use. Isuzu is not completely away from new technology, but the D-Max's first priority is still to do the basic job of a pickup properly. So when we look at all four, the picture becomes quite clear. The Ford Ranger moves more toward features and a modern experience. The Toyota Hilux stands on its long-standing reliability and strong reputation. The BYD Shark brings plug-in hybrid technology into the pickup market. And the Isuzu D-Max relies more on traditional diesel, practical capability, and competitive value. There cannot be one winner in this competition for every buyer. For some, technology will be important. For others, resale value. For some, a hybrid system, and for others, a diesel pickup that can handle everyday work and rough roads easily. So, the real question is, do you want the futuristic hybrid BYD Shark, the feature-rich Ford Ranger, the proven Toyota Hilux, or the comparatively straightforward diesel Isuzu D-Max? Isuzu's real strength in the global market. Now, the question is, how strong is Isuzu's position in the global market? Because if we judge only by passenger cars, Isuzu may not look as big as Toyota, Ford, or other major companies. But in the world of commercial vehicles, the picture is a little different. Isuzu's business today is spread across more than 150 countries and regions. According to the company, it holds the #1 market share in commercial vehicles in 47 countries. It also has around 3,812 service locations worldwide. This network is especially important in the commercial vehicle business, because for a customer buying a truck or pickup, simply buying the vehicle is not enough. They also need access to servicing, spare parts, and repairs. Now, if we look at Isuzu's light commercial vehicle, or LCV, business across different regions, it becomes clear that the company is not completely dependent on one market. First comes Thailand. In the fiscal year ending in March 2026, Isuzu's LCV sales, there were around 60,000 units. Thailand has long been an important market for Isuzu. Pickups here are not only used as personal vehicles, but are also in strong demand for farming, small businesses, and carrying goods. Apart from Thailand, sales in other Asian markets were around 18,000 LCVs. This is lower compared to Thailand, but it shows that Isuzu also has a presence in other Asian countries. Next, Africa becomes quite important. Isuzu's LCV sales there were around 54,000 units. In many parts of Africa, rough roads, long distances, and commercial use create a need for strong pickups. Such markets are quite important for a brand like Isuzu because the company has long focused on practical commercial vehicles. Similarly, in Oceania, which includes major pickup markets like Australia, sales were around 46,000 units. Around 23,000 were sold in the Middle East, about 17,000 in Europe, and nearly 15,000 LCVs in Latin America. Other markets added around 20,000 units more. When all these are added together, Isuzu's global LCV sales reached around 253,000 units in the fiscal year ending in March 2026. But these numbers do not mean that Isuzu is leading in every market. A good example is Australia. Australia is one of those markets where pickups, often called utes there, are very popular. Here, there is direct competition between the Ford Ranger, Toyota Hilux, and Isuzu D-Max. In 2025, around 26,839 D-Max units were sold in Australia. That is good sales on its own. But during the same period, the Ford Ranger sold around 56,555 units, while the Toyota Hilux sold about 51,297 units. That means Ranger sales were almost double those of the D-Max, while the Hilux was also well ahead. So it would not be correct to say that Isuzu has overtaken the Ford Ranger or Toyota Hilux in the global pickup market. The real picture is that the D-Max remains a strong competitor even while staying behind them. Isuzu's strength does not come from selling the most pickups in one country. Its bigger strength is that its vehicles sell across many different types of markets. Its pickup business is strong in Thailand, there is commercial demand in Africa, the D-Max is an established name in Australia, and the company also maintains a presence in the Middle East, Europe, and Latin America. Along with this, Isuzu's large service network also helps, especially for customers who do not use their pickup just for weekend trips but use it every day for their business or work. So in the end, the question comes back to where we started. Can the 2026 Isuzu D-Max V-Cross really shake up the market of pickups like the Ford Ranger, Toyota Hilux, and BYD Shark? Looking at the whole story, the first thing to understand is that Isuzu is not a new pickup company. Its roots go back to 1916, and over more than 100 years, the company has built its experience especially in diesel engines, trucks, and commercial vehicles. Today, its business is spread across more than 150 countries and regions. The biggest thing about the D-Max is that Isuzu has not tried to make it unnecessarily complicated. Its formula is quite simple: strong design, practical cabin, good diesel torque, four-wheel drive, and the ability to handle work as well as everyday use. In other words, it has been designed as a pickup that can be used for business work and also taken on long family trips. There is no magical trick behind its competitive price either. Isuzu has an established manufacturing base in Thailand, suppliers are already in place, and the company has been building the D-Max for many years. Selling the same basic pickup in different countries with changes based on their needs also helps control costs, but the competition is not easy. The Toyota Hilux has a strong reputation for reliability and resale value. The Ford Ranger goes much further in modern technology, performance, and premium features. Meanwhile, the BYD Shark brings a completely different option to the pickup market with plug-in hybrid technology. Among them, the D-Max's strength is its diesel experience, durability, practical capability, and competitive value. But that does not mean the D-Max will suddenly overtake the Ranger and Hilux. In a major market like Australia, both still have sales well ahead of the D-Max. At the same time, the BYD Shark shows that pickups could also move toward hybrid and electric technology in the coming years. So, the real competition is not just about horsepower or price. The question is, what pickup buyers will value more in the coming years? New hybrid technology, more luxury and software, or a proven diesel pickup built for work, long journeys, and rough roads? And the real position of the 2026 Isuzu D-Max V-Cross in the market will be decided by the answer to this question. If you like this complete information about the 2026 Isuzu D-Max V-Cross, then like the video and make sure to subscribe to the channel.